Okay, so this little video is going to be about active reading strategies. We've talked a little bit about this in the past, but I want to specifically go over some active reading strategies when you're reading the textbook, when you're reading anything, but especially college textbooks. So, the first thing that you want to do when you're actively reading, that means you're engaging different parts of your body, like you might be using your hands, you might be writing, you're using more than just your eyes to read. All right. You might speak the words out loud. Okay. You might use your eyes to skim. You might click on, if you have like a online textbook, you might click the listen button, especially if you're an auditory learner. So knowing what kind of learner you are is really important to choose active reading strategies that work for you. Um, There's different types of learners, but the, main ones that we talk about in mainstream education is auditory learners, you learn by hearing, visual learners, you learn by seeing, and kinesthetic learners, you learn by doing. So think about what type of learner you are. I would consider myself more of a visual learner, like I need to see what's happening, but also kinesthetic, like I need to do it. For example, I'm learning to change my oil and I need someone to not just show me how to do it, but like allow me to do it as they are showing. So it'd be best for me if someone was showing me on their car and I'm practicing on my car. So think about what kind of learner you are before you decide on your active reading strategy. The first thing that you want to do for active reading is understand your reading assignment. Right? Are you supposed to read a textbook for background information that supplements a lecture? Are you supposed to read and take notes and submit the notes? Are you taking notes only for yourself? And understanding where to stop. For example, if your textbook has additional readings, do you need to read those? And this might be a good time to ask your professor to clarify a reading assignment. So you not only need to understand the assignment, if you don't understand it, you need to ask for clarification. All right, so some different strategies I'm sure you've learned are skimming for important information, skimming before you actually read, maybe making a graphic organizer like the Cornell Notes to prepare yourself to take notes. Maybe you're about to read something that is comparative, so you draw a Venn diagram in your notes before you start reading. Active reading includes pre reading questions, during reading questions, and post reading questions. So, writing down any questions that you have before you read the material, because then your brain is looking for the answers. Writing down questions during reading, maybe that will be clarified later in the reading. And then after you're done reading, do you have any post reading questions that you want to ask your professor or that you need to go back and get clarification from the textbook? Another active reading strategy is looking for cues from the text. And think about what type of cues I mean. I'm thinking about any bolded terms, any italics terms, underlined terms, headings, subheadings. Sometimes you'll have like little boxes on the side of your reading. Other times you might have like an appendix where chapter one like references essay number two in the back of the book. So you're gonna have to like look in the back of the book. So one special skill for active reading is that you need to understand the type of text you have. So if you have a textbook that is referencing things in the appendix, you need to know what the appendix is. An appendix is going to be something additional at the end of the book that supplements. Okay. So you need to understand like how your textbook works, what the references are. You need to understand the table of contents. You need to understand that you can often look in the back for the references. Like if I say, if I keep talking about the term rhetoric and you don't know what I mean, look in your textbook in the back for R, find rhetoric, and look it up in your textbook, right? Other active reading strategies, especially for you kinesthetic learners, is going to be marking the text, whether that's underlining, highlighting, those types of things. Sometimes we get out of this practice as we become older or more competent in our reading. But this is important, especially for college textbook reading. When you're mixing up the monotony of reading with physical action, like taking notes or highlighting, your brain is activated in those different ways instead of just one big chunk of reading time. You're breaking it up with some of these different strategies. So, I wanted to provide you with these strategies, especially because I'm not there to help you with your reading. I'm also not there to ask you if you have done the reading or to quiz you in class verbally to see what you did or did not understand about each chapter. So it's really important that when I assign readings, you are employing these strategies as you're taking notes. When you're taking notes, please take them for yourself, but think about what would my notes look like if I were turning them in for a grade? And that's like a goal that you should have for yourself. I don't collect notes. Notes are for you. I already know the content. Um, so, you know, think about all the information that I would expect you to have, but be self motivated to have that information without me hovering over you like, did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get this? Okay. All right. And that's a little mini lecture on active reading strategy.